Chapter 2. Brilliant Young Bird, Unaware of Still Lanes that Follows the Night Attack of Shinden Part 1 Chapter 2. Starting today, you three will be working under me as genin. Some of our missions will be tough. So you need to rely on each other, and make it out alive together. The man in his 40s standing before Itachi shouted loudly, forehead protector tied so tightly it looked painful. Minajiki Yuki. He had been assigned to be the Jonin supervisor for Itachi and the two other new graduates of the academy. In contrast with his lyrical name, he had a burnished face, and beneath the forehead protector digging into the short dark hair on his head were eyebrows like old, used brooms. The eyes that set below the unkempt brows were round like a fish's, the nostrils were large, and although the man's lips were quite thick, his mouth was absurdly small. Rely on one another. As if, the genin next to Itachi muttered, too quiet for Yuki to hear. Izumo Tenma. He was the leader of the group that had tried to force Itachi to get down on his knees and apologize, back at the academy. While Yuki continued his superficial lecture, Tenma sat holding his knees, and stared at Itachi. We got the village albatross hanging around the neck of this team. To hell with teamwork. There was one more person, a girl, there that day, sitting on the other side of Tenma. Look, you, could you just shut your yap already? The girl shouted angrily, interrupting Yuki's lecture. Her name was Inari Shinko, she was the same age as Tenma. Ever since school, you've been yammerin' about Itachi on and on and on, but you're genin now, yeah. So just quit with all your whinging already. Shut up, Tenma said. You're just a girl. And you know, this has been bugging me since we were at school. Your accent's so messed up, you stop making sense halfway through a sentence. I only moved house to Konoha 3 years afore. I can't help it. Shinko shouted, pursing her lips. Would you both stop it, please? Yuki timidly tried to calm the bickering pair. But they simply glared at each other, and gave no sign of stopping. Girls are always nice to good-looking guys, anyway. Why would I be all up in here for Itachi like that? Looky you, the lad's only 7. I'm 13, here? I don't fancy him. Age doesn't matter when it comes to love, right? What on earth are you talking, huh? The three of them were so pathetic that Itachi couldn't stop an unconscious sigh from slipping out. Naturally finding fault with this, Tenma raged, what are you all exasperated for? I can't spend time with these people. Itachi stood up, eyes closed. You jerk. You running away. Itachi, go on and give this arse a piece of it. Ignoring both of them, Itachi looked at Yuki. I was told that today was just a meet and greet. Alright. Yuki was clearly the most concerned about Itachi, the youngest member of his team. So then, haven't we finished what we came here for? I suppose we have. Then I'll take my leave. Oh. We have a formal mission tomorrow, so make sure you're on time. About to walk away, Itachi stopped and looked at Yuki over his shoulder. I understand. You're just running away, you jerk. Tenma shouted, standing up. And I'm not done with my talking yet. Shinko grabbed onto the hem of Tenma's trousers. What are you doing? You're such a loud mouth. The sound of their bickering in his ears, Itachi didn't turn around again. He could tell this wouldn't be easy. You on your way home? Itachi called out to a familiar back. The face that turned around abruptly grew bright upon seeing him. Itachi. It was Uchiha Izumi. You have a mission today. We were just meeting each other. Missions start tomorrow. Huh. Izumi was still attending the academy. When he thought about the fact that a mere month earlier, he had also been going to school like this, he was overcome by feelings of nostalgia. Their road home was the same, to the Uchiha compound. They started walking again. How's your team? Izumi asked. That senior's on it. Huh. The one with the loudest voice that time you took out those 3 seniors for me. A light of understanding flicked on in her eyes. Took them out, I didn't, she hung her head as if she didn't know exactly what to say. As he watched her, laughter abruptly welled up, and exploded out of him. Izumi stared with wide eyes. Why are you laughing? It's just funny. Just funny. You're awful. Sorry. This time, they both laughed. Even though no one had actually said anything funny, for some reason, the pair laughed together. Can you use the Sherry-nan now? Itachi asked. If I could do that, I'd be graduating just like you did. Itachi didn't look at her, as she pursed her lips in vexation. I haven't even activated mine yet. But you still graduated. You're a genin already. So, like, what kind of ninja are you gonna be when you do activate the Sherry-nan? Dunno. Before them, the wall sectioning off the Uchiha community came into view. The family crest was drawn on the magnificent tiled gates separating the village from the compound. So lately, the grown UPS have been kinda scary, right? Izumi asked, quietly, as they approached the compound slowly. You hear something? She shook her head from side to side. But sometimes, when I'm walking around in the compound, I'll just get scared all of a sudden. Izumi might have been 7 years old, but she had activated the Sherry-nan. Even if she hadn't totally mastered it, she still had plenty of training as a ninja. Plus, the Uchiha clan had sharp intuition to begin with. Izumi's gut feeling now was no doubt the early blooming of that ability, so he couldn't necessarily brush it off as fantasy. What's scaring you? He asked the fearful Izumi gently. Like maybe the grown UPS are thinking about bad things or something, bad things. The childish way that she put it got closer to the truth than any more adult way of speaking. In the back of his mind, the faces of the 3 subordinates who came and went from his father's place floated up. When the 4th Hokage had been decided on, when the issue of moving to the compound after the Nine Tails incident came up, and then the meetings at Nakano Shrine his father went to all the time. He had to assume they all affirmed Izumi's instincts. Izumi, Itachi said, as they slipped through the compound gates. He didn't look at her, but instead kept his gaze focused ahead of him. You probably shouldn't really talk about this with anyone else. Alright, Izumi nodded powerlessly. If you say so, Itachi, then I won't. They were silent then, as they returned. Part 2 will come on Thursday 6th.